Okay, I think we're live. So let me share my screen. You guys, if you can hear my voice and see my screen while I set this up. If anyone is here, let me know if you guys can see my face, hear my voice, and see my screen. And we'll get to it. So we have 7 people here. All right, guys, let me know if you can hear my voice and see my screen. That'll be very hey Vasco, do you have a private group? I don't have a private group. I mean, I do. I'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, cool. You guys can all hear me. So I can just close this up and just go into my magic whiteboard. So by the way, if you guys don't know, we do these every week. We used to do them like on a private show. I guess people would just go here to this page and just click here to watch it. Which hopefully nobody's on here. Hopefully everyone is here on YouTube right now because these are like all the public ones. And so yeah, we're doing them every week. And I want to try and bring in some cool and interesting topics to talk about when it comes to SEO and the future of SEO. So if at any point you guys have any questions, just shoot them away here in the chat, and yeah, I'll answer them as best as I can. And so today I want to talk about 5 things. I guess my latest tips to ranking on ChatGPT, not really ranking, but more or less being cited or mentioned in ChatGPT, not just fluff, but actual tangible tips of stuff I'm doing and what I'm seeing in the industry or the people I know. Talk a bit about the future of SEO, like what's going to happen in a year from now, what's going to happen in 10 years from now. Okay. I want to talk about a very cool study that Ahrefs did on GEO, which is this right here, which I'll cover in a bit, which is super, super interesting. Then I want to go dive deep into what the search marketing landscape will look like in 2026 and give away a membership for Arvo, which if you don't know, I mean, I guess if you got the email, if you're here live, you know what Arvo is. Arvo is our software. So you get a full membership to this, but we'll dive deep into that in a bit. So hopefully everyone's here, everyone can see and hear my voice. And yeah, let's get cracking. So I think these are recorded, by the way. So if you guys have to leave in the middle of it, I think these will be recorded. So yeah, latest tips in ranking on ChatGPT. And if you've watched the videos lately, you know what I'm about to say. And it seems simple. It is simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. So what I've been seeing, and this is basically since the beginning, is to have your brand mentioned on these LLMs, right? Whether ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, what else? Claude, any of these, right? It's about 3 things: volume, context, and syndication. Okay. And so I want to try and give you some examples of how this is done with some real brands. So I'll just open up GPT right here real quick. Just close this up so you guys don't see the sneaky stuff I'm searching for. And yeah, give you some tangible tips. First, let me firstly give you the theory around this. So the way in which these LLMs work is pretty straightforward. So let's divide this into 2 segments. So here we have the classic search engines. Okay, this is lagging a lot. And here we have the newest search engines. Let's just call them LLM based or AI based search engines. Okay, and these basically work the same way. On the left hand side we have ChatGPT. On the right hand side we have Google and Bing. So when you go on Google, right, it is pretty straightforward. You search for something on the top bar, right? It gives you a bunch of results. 1, 2, 3, whatever, right? Let's say search for something and it gives you an article, right? Or a blog post, gives you a YouTube video and a Reddit thread. Okay. The way in which Google works and Bing is pretty straightforward. You search for something and all it wants to do is to give you the correct answer the fastest possible. So the most relevant answer in the fastest possible. So why is this important? Because if you search for how to tie a tie, well, let me give you another example. If you search for example, dog collars, sites on dog collars will show up. A site on like motorcycles won't show up. And this sounds pretty obvious, but this is what the relevancy part of it is. Okay. And now the fastest possible is if you search for how to tie a tie or how to change a light bulb, most likely the first result is going to be a YouTube video. So it could be an article, right? It's not to say, of course, that the second or third results can't be an article, but to learn how to change a light bulb or to learn how to tie a tie, most of us will prefer to watch a video, right? Because it's like something you actually do. And that's where the fastest comes into play. So Google will tailor the results based off of relevancy and off of speed. Okay. Hopefully this is making sense so far. And this is pretty obvious, right? But I promise it's all gonna make sense. And how do these LLM engines work? Right? It's basically a funnel, okay, where if you view ChatGPT, right, you prompt it with something, it gives you an answer. You prompt it again, gives you an answer. You prompt it again, and you prompt it until the answer you have, like it's so down the funnel that you're happy with the answer, and then you just go about your day. Okay. Now, the only difference here is when you prompted something in the backend, mostly of all it's doing is it's deconstructing your big prompt, your big ass prompt. For example, hey, I'm a beginner gardener. I want to start a garden, and I want to plant strawberries, and I live in whatever, and this is what I want to do. It doesn't matter. A big ass prompt. All it's doing is that it's taking that prompt and deconstructing it into multiple search queries and basically placing them on Bing. That's most of it, right? And then seeing, okay, what info is it out there for all these? Let's assume it opens up multiple tabs. Okay, it opens up multiple tabs and starts searching for relevant information based off of your prompt and going through articles, going through blog posts, going through Reddit thread comments, going through YouTube videos, right? It's basically doing the work you do as a human of searching and clicking, reading the article, watching the video, reading the Reddit comments, watching the LinkedIn post, whatever, right? The stuff that you were to do manually, right? The AI does for you. Like it thinks, it reads and and then gives you all the info in a little paragraph. So yeah, it's amazing. But at the end of the day, it's just still reading information. Okay, it's just giving you that information in like a little silver platter because it just saves you a ton of time. And this ties in with this stuff right here, the latest Ahrefs study on GEO, which is humans don't even need to consume your content. Look at this. Ahrefs did this study, right? And it's basically, you can read it after, but it basically says that nearly 1/3 of the cited pages on these LLMs have zero organic search traffic presence. In other words, in a lot of cases, in 1/3 of the cases, right, it happens where GPT is giving you an answer, right, based off of info that's not even on the first page. That's on the 10th page. And why is this good for you, right? Well, because it just goes to show that even if, let's say, this would be the worst case scenario. Let's say tomorrow nobody uses Google anymore, like Google dies, right? Well, even if that's the case, right, AI will still go and find out the info you wrote about it to recommend to a human. So even if, let's say, okay, Google doesn't die, but let's say you can't push yourself up than the 10th position, right? You're not getting any organic clicks, right? Well, the same humans that are searching for the stuff that you would appear on Google, right, are also searching for that same stuff on ChatGPT. And because ChatGPT basically goes and finds info right here, it can pull up a result in the 10th result and convey the info in this result that's about your brand into the answer. Hopefully that made sense, right? So point being is that even if you're not seen by humans, well, you're seen by LLMs that read your info and then recommend that info and cite that info to humans, right? And that's pretty cool, I think, right? I mean, it's not just that, but a lot of it is that. And you can see when you use ChatGPT, right? Let me just think about a prompt. I'm a beginner gardener and want to start planting strawberries in my backyard in NYC. What should I take into account? I also have a dog. I don't know, right? It should. I forget what was the mode that. Let me just do this. Oh, Jesus. Search. It should break down. Huh. Well, no, it's not doing it right now, but when you use GPT, it breaks down the places it's searching and you can see what it's basically doing, right? It didn't do it here because a bunch of the context, it already has a lot of context embedded into it, right? But all these LMs were trained based off of info that was on all these websites. That's why, for example, I think it's Huffington Post or Forbes, one of those big guys, is now suing OpenAI because OpenAI, like, got a bunch of info from them without paying them a single cent. That's why now a lot of these big corporations have blockers that block AI crawlers, because why would me as Forbes have all this amazing info be produced on my site? And why would I give all this info away to a LLM, right? I mean, if they paid, right, not for free. And so point here is that basically what it's doing is this info right here is on Google, it's on websites, it's all across the board, right? And what they do is they deconstruct the prompt, as I said, into multiple search queries, and they search the web to see, okay, they search the web, or they search their plethora of knowledge they've acquired before by searching the web to give you the best answer based off of this. Let me give you maybe another example. I want to sell a course. What's the best online course hosting platform? Platform. Okay. Then at the same time, I'm going to open up right here Thinkific. Okay. So to just make my point across, Thinkific is just an online course hosting platform. Okay, just like any online course hosting platforms, right? They're a software business, and they have these pages comparing them versus the competition, right? Top features, pricing, whatever. Right? If you're a software company, usually you have these pages. If you're like a local business, you have service pages or location pages. If you're an e-commerce store, you have product pages, right? For example, these guys have a simple product page. Okay, so it's basically this. Now, if I search for, I want to sell a course, whatever, what's the best online course hosting platform? Okay, it's pretty cool. Okay, but I want a platform that allows me to have unlimited students. Okay, great. Let's see what it recommends and why. Okay, so Thinkific can handle unlimited students. And where did it get this info from? Okay, so this changed, but in theory, what it's also doing, and I've made videos on this, is pulling an info from pages like this, where it says it allows you to host unlimited students. For example, does Kajabi allow you to host unlimited students? So in this case, the page where it got the info from was the actual homepage right here, where surely on the homepage it also says the same thing. Let me see, unlimited. Yeah, there you go. So this ties in with another thing I want to talk about, but all these guys are doing is based off of your search prompt. They're scouring through the web, they're scouring through websites and seeing, okay, this somewhere on this site allows me to help out the user, myself, on what he wants, which is unlimited students. If so, yes, let me cite this as a source, right? And if I talk about Kajabi, there you go. Kajabi offers all-in-one platform for course creation, whatever, right? And one of the sources right here was this page of another competitor of Kajabi and Teachable, comparing them both. And hopefully it's not becoming too confusing, but I made a video on this, on how you do SEO specifically for software companies, for software as a service companies, which is this right here. It's 1 hour long. And this basically goes over this exact strategy. One, it's producing comparison pages, so you versus the competition, right? Then it's producing alternative pages, for example, Thinkific top 10 alternatives, or competitor top 10 alternatives, or then producing content, between two of your competitors. And why would you want to do this? Well, it's because even if nobody's searching for your brand, even if you're searching for someone else's brand, you can be cited as the source being a competitor. So all this ties in with what I said in the beginning. It's all about volume of content, right? Talk about yourself. Talk about your competitors. Talk about everything you do, everything you don't do, okay? Volume. And then, of course, context. If they didn't have this here, right here, that told AI that they allowed for unlimited courses or unlimited students, well, they would never show up here. Never. So in the age of AI, it's the same thing in the age of non-AI, right? To show up on Google as well, right? You have to have, again, the most relevant result. So how do you become the most relevant result? So in this case, your page needed to say, right, that you have unlimited student allowance. Hopefully this makes sense. So none of these GEO, SEO is much different from the classic SEO, right? Because by default, and I was going to say that if you rank on Google, you rank on GPT. Not necessarily, as we saw by the Ahrefs case study, right? There can be instances, and this is good, by the way, that you don't rank on Google, but you're cited on GPT. That being said, it is in most of the cases, if you rank on Google, you will also rank on GPT. Okay, this is just 1/3. How about the other 2/3, right? So in majority of the cases, you will rank on Google and GPT. Excuse me, in the majority of the cases, if you rank on Google, you rank on GPT. But even if you don't rank on Google, right, you'll still rank or be mentioned on GPT. So to hammer my point across, it's all about volume and context. And here's another example. Like this, most e-commerce stores stop their pages right here, right? Look at these guys. They have how to use, etc. They have the material breakdown, right? It's made out of this thick, ultra durable steel of non-toxic USDA approved paint. So again, let's say someone is on the funnel of GPT, they're prompting and they're saying, "Hey, I'm a beginner gardener. I want to get into gardening. I've heard that there's these garden beds that they're made out of steel. Are they any good?" The answer is yes. Steel garden beds are great. They're fantastic. Here are a couple of brands. And I say, yeah, but I've heard of some of these steel garden beds are made out of this, like they paint them with this weird ass paint that's a bit toxic, and then the paint can go into the soil, then it goes into the vegetables, and then you're basically consuming like this toxic stuff. It says, yeah, sure, that's true. Some of these are actually made out of these toxic paints, but there's this one brand that makes them out of non-toxic USDA approved paint. Boom, here's a link. Again, just a simple one-liner right here makes a whole difference, right? So tell the engines like what you, and by the way, like this page most likely doesn't rank on Google for non-toxic USDA approved paint garden beds because it's just so small. And what I've seen throughout the years is that stuff like this becomes irrelevant for Google, right? It's hard to rank on Google for multiple different terms if you don't write a lot about them. But in LLMs is different. Just a small one-liner mention of this stuff, because they're browsing the sites all over the place, is enough to have you show up. And because it's a way, way more granular search, right? You're going back and forth, you're searching through hundreds of sites, thousands of information. So just a one-liner like this is what makes it show up here. So be specific. Put on our site what you sell, why you sell it, what's the pain point it solves, through who does it solve this pain point to, why, what does it do this, why doesn't it do that, right? Why is it made out of this, why is it made out of that? So be super specific. That's how you win in these LLM games, because the prompt people are searching for in these LLMs are very specific as well. And not just that, it's because people are going and going deep in interacting with these LLMs in the searches. I argue that a search in an LLM is way more deeper than a search in the classic search engine in Google or Bing, because you just get tired, right? You just look at the first page of Google, and then, yeah, I don't want to look at the second page. I don't have time. But these LLMs have time. So that's the cool thing about that. So hopefully that's making sense so far. Wow, 15 people here. Oh, never mind, 9. Okay, it's pretty cool still. What's the best way to rank a pressure washing company? Man, so local SEO is very different than the traditional SEO. What I recommend you do, I have a video on this, which I recommend you watch. Just type in local right here, and just watch. Let me see. Jesus. Yeah, watch this. It's 2 hours long, and I can almost guarantee that if you watch all the way through, you'll have like 90% of the things you need, and you have to actually implement them to succeed. Because local SEO is all about Google Maps, which is a whole different beast. So watch this. I'll even drop the link in the chat for you guys. This should help a lot. Oh, Jesus. Someone asked before if I had a private group. Oh, never mind. Where did the chat go? Okay. But the ChatGPT answer, it depends on your company position on Google. I mean, if I'm on the first page of Google, then I'm sure, you know. Yes. So as I said, ranking on Google, but there's basically a direct correlation between ranking on Google, or how high you rank on Google, and the number of mentions or citations you have on these LLMs. 100%. That being said, correlation doesn't mean causation. And as seen by Ahrefs' study, right, 30% or 1/3 of the cited pages on these LLMs don't even show up, don't even have organic search traffic. So yes, it helps to show up on Google's first page, but even if you don't show up, right, even if you write this mega specific piece of content that you know no human who's going to ever read, well, AI can still find that piece of content, read it, take some stuff from there, and then cite it as a source in the answer for the LM. So yes and no. Even if you're ranking on the 30th page, yes, no human is going to ever go to the 30th page, but AI can. And if AI does go there and reads through and finds that information valuable, it can then tell the human, hey, listen, here's where I found this info from. And the human can go through your site via ChatGPT. So it's still valuable. So hopefully that made sense. But again, of course, we should all strive to rank on Google. So yeah, I've I sort of mixed up a bunch of these concepts right here. What else did I hear? Yeah, the future of SEO, again, it's basically just same things, but just robots to help you skim through the info. As I said right here, again, even if you rank on the 10th page, well, LLMs will go to the 10th page. LLMs will read through the Reddit comments. LLMs will go through the 30th page and read a blog post you wrote like a year ago, if it's valuable, of course, and if the LLM finds it valuable based off of the prompt the person searched for, it will go there and will convey that information to the person. So, yeah, that's basically what I said before. So, excuse me. If you feel like the info you're putting out there is valuable, keep putting it out there because LLMs will eventually find it. Oh yeah, how I see the search market moving in 2026. Well, first things first, what we have to understand about marketing, or about SEO. SEO is just a way of marketing, right? And marketing only works when you have leverage. For example, let's imagine there's a highway, okay? A highway where cars go through, okay? Cars go through this highway every single month. Let's say 100,000 cars go through this highway every single day, okay? And you put a billboard right here saying, oh, hey, buy my ducks, okay? This is a duck. Buy my ducks, okay? So most likely, maybe 1% of the people will buy the ducks, right? Who knows, or 0.1%, which is good, right? But what happens if, okay, now all of your competitors who also sell ducks, now they decide to put a bunch of billboards. Hey, I want to sell ducks as well. I want to put a billboard here, and then the other guy puts a billboard here, and then the other guy puts a billboard here, and all of a sudden the space is all crowded with billboards. Well, what's going to happen is that the sales are going to be diluted through all these people, and eventually it's going to all trend to zero. My point is that marketing only works when you have leverage. If all of a sudden anyone can do the exact same thing you're doing, well, you stop having leverage, thus you stop being able to successfully do marketing, thus you stop being able to successfully get sales. This is the same thing with SEO, right? If there was a button you could press to rank first, right, then technically everyone would rank first. And ranking first would not be valuable because if everyone can do it, it's not valuable. So you stop getting leverage. Now, of course, there's no button that helps you. That if you click, you rank first. There's tools, but my point with all this maybe weird analogy is that the search marketing space in 2026 is the same as before. You just try to hijack attention. That's what marketing is. And if hijacking attention is okay, maybe if I'm a software company, I'm going to produce an in-depth comparison article between myself and the competition that's very, very in-depth that I know can rank on Google and that I know that can also be cited on these LLMs. Maybe one successful marketing strategy is do what these guys did right here, which they grew their traffic from 0 to 10K a month in literally 24 hours. You can go watch the case study by producing news content, news articles. Or maybe it's doing what this guy did right here, which is basically converting a bunch of YouTube videos into blog posts. It just took a bunch of YouTube videos, he converted them into blog posts from English to French. So he converted the medium of consumption from video to written format, and also the language from English to French. And he got a bunch of traffic just off of doing that. Now, if everyone did that, he wouldn't have seen this success because he lost the leverage. So marketing as a whole is just about leverage. So that's why marketing is hard. There's no one push button solution. You click it, you get sales, right? You always have to be reinventing yourself and seeing what works. So I'll tell you right now, what works is this stuff right here. Right now, what works is news type of content. It's producing valuable content that ranks on Google and on ChatGPT. It's building the backlinks. It's all the stuff that I talk about, maybe even too much on this channel. It's all the same thing. And this is a bit of a rant, but what I feel like is most people just watch the stuff and don't ever implement. And you can watch like hours on end on YouTube videos, but if you don't implement them, as cliche and as cringe as that sounds, well, you're never going to see success. So there's that. Yeah, I guess that's basically it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Hopefully this was valuable. Do you save the live? Yeah, I think the lives are saved to the lives tab right here, so you can watch them after. Yeah, there you go. So it will be saved for sure. And so yeah, guys, let's do a giveaway. How many people we have here live? We have 11 people. Let's do a giveaway on a membership for Arvo. So we have 11 people here. You guys type 10. Okay, you guys type in the chat a number from 1 through 10, and then I'll just do a random number generator. And we'll see who wins. Okay. Before that, do me a favor. 10 people here. Make sure, I want to see 10 likes as well. Otherwise, we won't do the giveaway. So please like the stream. And while you guys do that, if you don't know what Arvo does, Arvo is not a magic tool. Like anything this does, you can do as well. The thing is that it just saves you a ton of time and just brings you a bunch of results. Going back here to my Maro board, all these you guys see here. 1 second. All this stuff right here. These are only some of the results people have seen with using Arvo, right? Again, Arvo is not a magic tool. It just increases the speed at which you can see results, right? From 1,300 to 20K a month, right? Valuable traffic, right? We have, what's this? A real estate platform, right? Recovered from a downtrend from around 3K to 14K. We have, what's this? Online marketplace. Boom, boom. We have, what else? We have e-commerce stores. We have yoga mats stores. I mean, it is insane, the results people see with Arvo. And I try to always be super transparent and like in the case studies tab, go over how they did it. So if you guys are interested, you can just click here to watch the case studies and see exactly what they're doing. But my point is that, am I saying if you buy Arvo, you'll rank first and make a lot of money? No. What I'm saying is that if you do SEO the right way, as I teach you, you will succeed. And Arvo just helps you do SEO a little bit faster, okay? And so, yeah, let me see what else you guys saying here. Okay, some numbers in the chat, cool. But for example, if a user mentioned company ABC, that is another user searches. Excuse me. But if, for example, if 1,000+ users mention the company ABC that is in web hosting on ChatGPT, then when another user searches for web hosting, the ABC company will be more preferred. Yeah, I mean, this, Jesus, how do I zoom out? Yeah, this is about brand mentions and PR. So 100%. I recommend everyone goes watch this right here. It's a 15-minute video where I break down basically how PR impacts your likelihood of ranking on these LLMs, because PR is basically brand mentions on authoritative sources. I go over like how to create them, where to buy them. Like you're not even giving money to me, you're giving money to these guys, which I'm not affiliated with. So yes, I agree with you. And guys, go watch this if you want to learn a bit more about that. So I'll just paste it right here. Yes, 100%, man. A lot of people ask me this: can ChatGPT content rank in Google? Google doesn't care who or what writes the content. Google just cares about one thing: is this content valuable for the user? Is this content satisfying user search intent? If so, they don't care if it's a human, a dog, a dolphin, a robot writing the content. They do not care. Again, they only care about one thing: is the content valuable for the end user? And this is not just me saying this out of my ass. It's proof we have from all the case studies that I showed you before, right? All these case studies, all these guys right here, and there's many more on the YouTube channel. If this loads, all these guys are using AI content. Now, can AI produce shitty content? 100%, but so can humans, okay? So just make sure that the content the AI produces isn't shitty. And if you're using a tool like Arvo, which gets all these results, it is not shitty. Okay, I'll grant it. Am I saying if you produce an article using Arvo, you rank first? No, depends on the niche, depends on a lot of factors. Okay. So yeah, before I do the giveaway, I want to make sure you guys watch a couple of videos. So make sure you guys watch this one right here, because this is for SaaS. This applies all across the board to multiple types of businesses. Okay, so go watch that as well. Are social profiles important for ranking or just get backlinks? A backlink from like social media isn't powerful in the sense that's going to rank you first. Like the link juice isn't as powerful as the link juice, excuse me, from backlinks like these. Like these backlinks are powerful. Backlinks from social media aren't necessarily that powerful. That being said, right, having a brand across the web, across socials, right, means you're basically syndicating your brand across the web. So because the LLMs, they go to Google, they go to Facebook, they go to LinkedIn, they go to Twitter, right? They go all across the web to find information, right? It's best you're everywhere. For example, for Arvo, right, we have a Twitter page where we just put out a bunch of tweets. Okay, it's just why not? Okay, it's important. It also because Twitter has Grok, which is their version of ChatGPT, and more and more people are using this. And of course, Grok is biased, right? Grok, just like any other LLM, they're biased, meaning that if you use Grok, you'll notice that a lot of their sources are actually tweets. Okay, so a lot of like OpenAI, a lot of ChatGPT sources are heavily directly correlated with how their sites rank on Bing. Of course, Bing is also heavily correlated with Google search results. My point being is that OpenAI, Twitter, like Google's AI, all of them are biased, not in terms of the information, but in terms of how much weight they put in certain sources. And Grok puts a lot of weight in tweets, which is obvious because it's heavily trained off of tweets, and it wants to cite sources that are inside its own platform. So there you go. Do I have a private group? I mean, yes. So if you go to Arvo / what is it? I think it's Black Card. I don't really advertise this publicly, but if you join this, you get access to my private group, where you can ask me questions anytime you want. But honestly, the value doesn't come much for that. That's valuable, but I think the value comes from all this stuff right here. So I guess I can drop here if you want. I don't really advertise this private group much, but there you go. Okay, guys. Yeah, and how to speed up ranking for new websites? I mean, you mind? Man, that's an impossible question to answer. Can you rank first in 2 months? I mean, yes and no. It depends on your niche. Depends on what you're doing. Depends on how hard you're going. Everything is possible, right? For example, these guys ranked 24 hours from 0 to 10K in 24 hours, right? These guys did it in 90 days. I mean, it depends on a lot of stuff. So I need to add more case studies here. But yeah, everything is possible, right? Just do the work, I guess. Yeah, hopefully that's a decent answer. Again, all these guys did it. I don't think you're any different. These are a bunch of different niches: events, marketing agencies, B2B SaaS, e-commerce stores. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Crypto sites. It's a lot of stuff here that has done it. Yeah. So let's do the giveaway. I do want to show you something that's pretty cool before that, which is a lot of people ask me, yeah, Vasco, sure, but why would I pay for Arvo when I can just use ChatGPT? Fair question. Well, let me tell you why. So first thing is that like here, you can use the knowledge base feature, which basically allows you to feed our AI with anything, PDFs, videos, documents, audio files. They basically you're basically feeding in brand info to our AI. Then the AI is able to write brand tailored content with your own brand's mannerisms and brand tone of voice. So it's not just AI swap content. So that's the first thing. Then the whole like integrations, we integrate directly with all these with all these CMSs. So Shopify, WordPress, Blogger, Wix, Webflow, anything. So just one click integration. Then the fact that you can just set up an automatic blog, a blog that is automatically writing and publishing content on the backend, fully automated for you, right? And that can be done off of like a keyword list off of news feeds. So when a news comes out, it just writes the same news again. RSS feed, even a YouTube channel. So if you have a, let's say you have a, let's just do an example. Let's say you like this guy. I think it's MKBHD. This guy does videos on tech. Okay. What you can do is you can have it so when he publishes a video, right, our AI takes in the video, reads through the whole transcript, right, and writes a whole article based off of that video. So you can have a channel connected, and as the channel is posting videos, right, we're writing articles of those videos, and those articles, as we saw before, they rank on Google. This guy went from 0 to 5.4K a month just off of doing that. So that's pretty cool. Again, can you do this with ChatGPT? Maybe you can, but not at this level of automation. That's fully automated for you, running in the backend. So that's pretty cool. Then you can use AI to write the articles for sure. So if I open this up right here, you can have the AI do stuff like this, which looks great, right? With images, tables of contents, links, even in-article relevant videos. So this is about gardening tips in arid soils, and the video is on desert gardening. So the AI did all this, links to the products, links to everything, right? So you can use the AI to generate the content, but you can also use the AI to edit the content. So if I open this up right here, like so, in case you don't want to use the AI to edit, to write, you can just use it to, that's a bad example. Let's just do, for example, this one. This is in, I think, Japanese, right? I can go here and I can say, okay, add links here, or add these keywords right here. So add my product name, or make a table, make a list, make it longer, make it shorter, or just add any custom prompt like rhyme every word with orange, right? Or you can select parts of it, or you can just select the whole thing and just, as if you're speaking with ChatGPT, change the whole article, like add a paragraph on why Elon Musk, whatever, right? Make sure to add a table that has, etc. Also, add an image. So you can basically speak with it back and forth. So you can do that as well. You can just start from scratch, or you can start from a link. So if there's a competitor out there who is ranking for a certain keyword you want to rank for, you can just literally paste in their URL right here, right? And then just start a draft based off of their URL, and then just use our AI chat to optimize the content. So that's pretty cool. I'm done selling you on this. If you want to get it, get it. Now let's go over the giveaway. So let's see here. I do consulting. Yeah. This right here includes a. Does it include consulting? Well, just for you guys on this call, if anyone grabs this, I'll do a 30-minute consulting call with you guys. So I'll throw in here. I'll include that here in this. So 30-minute consulting call with myself. That being said, this is also pretty valuable. I'll send you like a 30-minute audit on your current GEO or AI SEO game plan, and find ways to improve it. Not game plan. So basically, I'll tell you what you need to do to rank on ChatGPT. Basically, that's basically it. But for you guys here on the call, I'll also do a 30-minute live call with you one-on-one. Dude, I didn't skip your questions. I answered most of them. Maybe I skipped one. What did I skip? Let me know. I think I answered them all. Okay, let's just go over the giveaway. Bam, 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 bam. Where is it? Where's the rank? Okay, there we go. So 1, 2, 3, and number 4. Who's number 4? 8, 9, 4. There you go. Dave. Jesus. Dave Incosia. Dude, drop me your email somehow, or just go to Arvo right here, and on the live chat, just tell him, hey, listen, I'm Dave. I came from Vasco's live stream. I want a subscription to Arvo. Please put me through Vasco. The guys will put you through me. So yeah, congrats, Dave. And I'll just screenshot this real quick. Shoot me a message on the live chat of the site, and I'll give you access to it. Guys, thank you so much for you guys being here. I'll be here again next week if you guys are. If you have any questions for next week, well, I'll answer them. Maybe next week I'll also do some site audits, so you can just drop your guys' site right here, and I'll do some audits. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Oh, David's not here. Well, I'm guessing you'll see the recording, so we'll see. Can I get a subscription? Yes, you can get it for $99 a month. And I guess you can use the coupon code secret10. It gives you 10% off. So secret10. And by the way, there's also a free trial. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate. Well, I'll be here next week. And yeah, now I have to find a way to end the stream, and I think it's here. And cheers. And we're out.